Source Nation. Join us now for Transforming Your Mind with author and transformational coach Clinton M. McCoy as he shares the real secret to success. Source Nation, here is your host, Clinton M. McCoy.
Good evening, Source Nation family, and welcome back to another Thursday's edition of Transform Your Mind. We're here, we learned the secret of success is really no big secret at all. It starts with changing the way that we think so that the way that we want life to be will bring itself into reality. So tonight we're going to be talking about the power of purpose. And purpose is really one of the key driving engines behind really manifesting your dreams into a physical reality. Our purpose is our drive that keeps us going when everything else seems dark, when no one else seems to believe in what we want to do. That vision that at times that we are the only one that can see it, but as we see it, it pushes us to do what most people would think is unbelievable things. And in my own experience, some of the times it's even unbelievable to myself. So tonight in the studio with me, we have a special guest, Miss Richale Reed. How you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. And Mrs. Reed is an author, speaker, coach, and Miss Reed has taken the skills that she learned as a lead therapist in corporate America and applying it to building her own successful practice where she is helping other people define their purpose and bring the reality that they have deep inside their heart into a physical reality. So without further ado, please tell us some more about yourself and how have you been using your gifts and talents to help other people transform their lives?
Well, again, thank you for having me on the show. I've been waiting for this for a minute, so it's good to be here and finally get started with this relationship, because I think what a lot of people don't realize is that your purpose will bring you into different relationships, and every connection that you make is either a short-term or a long-term relationship that needs to happen to help you fulfill the purpose that's on your life. And so, as you said, I have been using the gifts that God has just given me for years. Some people have a hard time, learning what their passion and their purpose is. I honestly have to say that I haven't really struggled with that. However, it has taken many different forms. So I am a coach right now, a personal coach. I am also a inspirational speaker, and that's even transformed from motivational speaker to inspirational speaker. I wrote a book last year, just celebrated a year anniversary on August the 10th. And so, and I'm a therapist, and it just takes a lot of different roles in how my purpose has been fulfilled in my life. And I love purpose. I love talking about purpose because it brings us to so many different things. Again, it brings us great relationships, and guess what else? It brings us a lot of challenges. So I've been challenged in business and being the lead at a wonderful corporation, but those experiences, every job that I've had, I can see where it was purposeful in fulfilling the call that I'm actually walking out, or as you said, manifesting in my life right now. So all of those things are very important for us to understand that it's a cumulative effect and that it will, like you said, also show up in ways that we don't even expect and we're in awe of. And I actually, let me make this disclaimer, I don't take any credit for anything good in my life. The word says all good and perfect things come from above. So I give credit to God for the success, as I define it, that has occurred in my life. He really helps me to do what he's called me to do. And if you look in the dictionary, purpose, it says purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So just according to that, it's the reason that you and I exist. And from my foundation, which is a spiritual foundation, because I believe that I'm a spirit more than I am a human being, then that foundation is really, really important to know that there's something, or my purpose is greater than I am. And so if it's greater than I am, that means that I have to tap into a greater source in order for it to come to pass. That was a mouthful, wasn't
it? That was a book full. I was just thinking, man, we could do about 5 shows breaking down a lot of the things that you actually talked about. And, of course, me and you have already known this because, we talk, but we might say, I got a quick 15 minutes, and it turns into an hour. But I'm going to go over a couple of these things that you said because I really have no choice because it's key. I want to get back to, first I'm just going to touch on real quick, and I want to move into something else along the same manner, as when you talked about your speaking role and you as a speaker and how you've moved from, I guess, motivational, to inspirational, like to empowerment. And there's a lot of people that they don't really understand the difference in that. Inspiring, that gets people moving. That gets you going. But inspiration might help you cross the finish line and get started, but it rarely helps you with all the other stuff in between. And it doesn't really give you what you need to move forward on your own without being plugged into some other source or of energy. So I like what you said about moving from just inspiration to being motivational or even empowerment, and what you were saying about the understanding of purpose. One of the things that I write about and we talked about is that there's a lot of people that think that their purpose, and they believe that they are missing their purpose, in my opinion, because they believe it's a person, place, a thing, or idea, instead of understanding it as an energy source that you dip into to give you the strength that you don't think that you have in order to move forward. And being able to really understand that principle, and us being creative beings, not just beings of flesh, that we can create purpose, I believe. You can create your why, maybe not your super big overall God's-given why, but your whys to move you from step to step. When you really understand the power of purpose, you can do that all the time. And people do it all the time. I do it for my kids. I do it for the money. I do it for a raise. I do it because I'm tired of taking other people's crap. But so you touched on a lot, and it's vital in being able to move forward. So tell me how you understanding, like you said, you was pretty big in the corporate arena as the lead therapist, but something said, hey, I'm going to step away from this well-paying job or transition from this well-paying job into doing something for myself, which a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs that are not, it's a jump. you know?
And I realized that I'm valuable and I'm worth a whole lot. However, there's no job that will ever pay me what I'm worth. It will never amount to that, and so it's in me to get that done. And so in the corporate arena, I've been blessed in the last few years, in a very short time, to have even, and success is whatever you want it to be for you. For me, having struggled in other jobs and always wanting to be an entrepreneur, I found it difficult at certain times, even though I still believed, even back in the day, that was my purpose. But there are certain seasons of your life where things are difficult or challenging, and then you get those pockets where things just flow. It's like bam, from one wave to the next wave, like with no dipping in between. And so for me, the last few years, it has been like that, and I wondered if it was, did she struggle long enough? Did she learn enough from the struggle? And I always talk about Finding Purpose in Your Pain. I actually, sidebar here, I'm actually doing a women's empowerment April 2018 that we're planning called Purpose in Your Pain. Because I truly believe in that, because I have had a lot of hardships in my life and I'm very resilient. But in the last few years, things have actually been much easier when it came to the corporate arena. And so what I learned from that was that this was no different from the challenges. This was an area where, even though I was challenged with different personalities and politics, I was still like rising above with a raise here, another raise here, another raise here. Like it just shouldn't happen, and you know that a source other than you has got to be manipulating something, making something happen for you. But you're being obedient. You're in the right place. You're saying, yes, send me, I'll go. You know, you're just open to it no matter how hard it gets, and the rewards just keep showing up. And so I've been in that place, but God was showing me that this is no different. What I want you to do with this is take these experiences, and I'm actually allowing these people to pay you right now for me to train you to go out into the marketplace to fulfill the purpose that I have on your life. Now, your purpose may be at the job for a certain amount of time, just like mine was. But that transition is key, that you take everything from that job with you into your own corporation. Look at all the blood, sweat, and tears that you've given to this corporation, and maybe you've been really faithful and you're wondering when your turn is next. Your turn is coming. I promise you, if you just continue to stay faithful and stay plugged into the source, because this is the thing. I'm flawed and jacked up. We're all flawed and jacked up, but God is greater. And so there are some spiritual principles that we can take with us into the marketplace. But then for the deep and spooky, you know, those who their heads are so up in the clouds that they have no practical, you know, application, you need practical application. He'll actually show you practical application, how to go into the marketplace and how to take a scripture that tells you to love your enemy, but not walk in a room and say, well, you know what, you being real nasty today, and so I'm just going to remember that scripture that says that I need to love you because you're my enemy. No, you don't do things like that. But he'll show you how to go in and love people where they are, which will help other people move. And so when he puts you in management, you'll learn how to love other people to the next level. How to grow other people to the next level. Yeah, go ahead.
So what would you tell other people? Sorry about that. I thought you had paused. So what would you tell other people that are jacked up, like we're jacked up, and they feel like they got to get things straight first, or this thing got to be perfect, or they just need to be in order before they can move their jacked up selves forward and be able to really actually bring their purpose into a reality, really to start to make the moves that their heart of hearts. I mentioned it in the show before that there's a lot of things that lie to us, but there's one thing that doesn't, and that's our heart of hearts. Like I said, they got a name for that voice deep down inside of you. What do you say to them jacked up people like us that has been able to still move forward irregardless using that power principle of purpose? What would you say to the people that you have actually helped?
Well, there's a couple of answers. You don't get good to get God. You get God to get good. So it's all about going back to the source and knowing that the source gets the work done. You're just a vessel. And so, for example, if there's someone and your eyes are opened up enough to know that this person needs help, and not only do they need help, but they need your help, like you are the person to help this person move. When you see that, you kind of have to humble yourself and remove yourself to some extent so that you can go in and be the vessel. Be the vessel. And vessels, when you are being the vessels are poured into. But they have to be poured into first so they can be poured out into.
Yes. Yeah.
So
it's hard to fill something up when you're empty.
There you go. So you flawed and jacked up, you know what? You be there, because there's a season for being there. But then there's a season of where you'll be prepared, right, to pour out. So flawed and jacked up might need to be still to be poured into until they can pour out into.
Yeah, and stop waiting on perfect and all type of other stuff, all type of other things like that. So how do you use the skill sets that you've learned, not just in corporate America, because that's probably a fraction of, we talk, a fraction of what you've actually not been through in life? Because there's a lot of people that I hear people that tell me stuff like, man, I've been through a whole lot, but you haven't learned anything, and if you've learned anything, what are you doing with it? Just because you've been through a lot doesn't mean anything. But so the things that you've been through, also with your corporate career, also as an author and as a speaker, how do you use that to help, I hate to say clients, but people that you work with?
People that I serve.
Yes. Okay, that's the better. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. I'm American. That's what we do. We take other people's stuff and act like it's ours. So I'm going to go ahead and.
It's the people that we serve. I serve people every single day in everything that I do, and it's, again, that humility that allows me to move forward. But, I mean, honestly, you asked me a question, but I think you already answered it. We have got to learn from the things that we go through. And when we learn from the things that we go through, it becomes our material. That's the reason why you hear so many people, because I didn't come up with there's purpose in your pain. I didn't come up with that. I wish I could say I did, but I didn't. But what I did come up with is the reality that is true in my life. And so I have taken all of the pain that I've learned from that tells me this is your purpose. You went through that so that you could help other women. You went through that so you could help other men understand their women. You went through that so that you would learn how to be a servant leader, not haughty and high-minded and looking down on people, because as a therapist, I mean, you have to employ all kinds of skills like empathy, right? And I take that skill of empathy into a corporate situation. It doesn't matter who I'm working with. It doesn't matter if it is a person that we serve on, like a therapy client. So I'm just for clarity, I'm gonna say a therapy client versus a corporate client that I'm going to do a training for. It doesn't matter. I'm dealing with a person, and I'm dealing with someone who needs healing in some way, and for some reason, a purposeful reason, God sent me their way. So a lot of times when I'm working or serving someone, I look at, am I here to support them, or perhaps are they here to support me? Or is it both?
I like that. And I'm dead serious when I was talking about, I am not saying my clients anymore. No more. That's done.
The
people I serve, that's right. Because I don't deal with numbers, I deal with people. See, I done came up with a little cliche right off the top. So I like to know people in the Source Station family that listen to me is when I have people here with me, these are people that I feel that I can learn from, even as a transformational coach, even as somebody that gets a lot of results. I want to deal with people that if you can't help me grow, it doesn't mean that I won't try to help you. But even in that, it has to be something. But you know what, though? I'm already seeing this right now. I'm going to have you in for part 2, of the show so that so we could talk a lot more because there's just a lot, just a lot to this. But I definitely wanted to know before I get ready to go, and I know there's just tons more that you're going to be able to pour into other people, is that I definitely like that. That was something, the people that I serve. You hear it, the reverse effect coach, Clinton M. McCoy, no more clients, only the people that I serve.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's
Yes.
true though, and that's true. And that goes even back to what we were saying with purpose. Is a lot of times we get the strength to move forward. So once we move forward, now we can get the strength to get what we need to have next. Very,
And guess
very
what else?
powerful principle.
Some
Go ahead.
the other thing is that, you know, I talked about that wave where certain things were easy, like the raises were easy, but the low part was all the stuff I had to go through to I guess in a way show the person that was responsible for giving me the promotion, which is a human being, but you know, we know who promotes us, right? Because if
Yes.
man promotes you, then man can demote you. So I want God to promote me, because then I can stay there, right? And then I can go from glory to glory. I can go higher and higher,
Higher and higher,
and fulfilling that purpose. But what I wanted to say is, your purpose will, because a lot of people are looking for, like, Raquel, how do I find my purpose? That's what they want to know. Well, sometimes a person's purpose, it'll chase you down. Like when you it's like you'll get into a certain groove, and it just chases you down. And sometimes it's already done that, but you blind to it. Why? Because it being blind, being ignorant to it, is actually serving you in some way. Now, from the outside looking in, I could say, I can tell it's serving you in a negative way, but you haven't seen that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you come and work with a life coach like me in the area of life or spiritual development, or you come see me for therapy. That's why you come for those type of things. Now, therapy and life coaching are two different things, of course, but that's why some of you are constantly going to different events with motivational speakers and inspirational speakers, or different pastors in different churches, and, you know, things like that, because sometimes you're searching so hard when the answers that you need are really on the inside of you. Why? Because you have been equipped with it from Jump Street. You just don't see it.
Exactly. So we're definitely going to have a part 2 on here, because there's probably even a part 3, because there's tons of information here. But real quick, as we get ready to go off, you could just, tell the Source Nation family how they can get in contact with you. And there's a lot of great information, a lot of powerful help that can help. Like you use the word empathy. You're being able to understand somebody's situation, especially from a viewpoint of going through it. So go ahead and tell the Source Nation family how they can get in contact with you if they want to reach out to you in between now and the next time you're on the show.
Okay. Well, everything that I am doing is on www.raquelreed.com, and I'm going to spell my name for you. It's RichaleReed.com. Everything I'm doing is there. So I have multiple websites for therapy, to book me for speaking engagements, whatever, you have in mind. And I like to come out and I like to flow, like Clinton and I flow. I like to just flow without the presumptions and really just let our purpose mold the time that we're going to have together, whether it's in this platform or another platform. And I love to really just be creative with what I'm doing, no cookie-cutter approaches here. So if you're looking for someone to help you go or grow to the next level and move forward in servant leadership, or if you have some past traumatic issues, I do therapy online, so it doesn't matter where you are in the listening area, I can help you, and that information is also on my website. There's a webinar that I just put out. It's a 4-week webinar. It's available on the website as well, along with some other things. And so I hope that the material I put out just blesses you.
And thank you very much. And let's go ahead and schedule our part 2, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me this evening on Transform Your Life. And remember, I am the Reverse Effect Coach, and I'm here to help you win. I'm here to help you do that by breaking the chains of your past so that you can unlock the doors to your future, allowing yourself to become the strongest and most creative version of yourself. So basically, at the end of the day, I am here to inspire you to be inspired to give your dreams a chance. Thank you.
Get at me for beats, y'all.